Ibrox Stadium, Glasgow, where we're just minutes away from Rangers' first and most important match of the season. Victory over the Cypriots after these two legs will set them on the road to that all-important place in the Champions League, and an £8 million windfall. Good evening and welcome to a fantastic start to the new campaign. Coming up, we've got the whole match live. With me in the studio, two men who know all about the big occasion at Ibrox. Ex-Rangers stars Gary Stevens and Maurice Johnston. Gary, first of all, it all went horribly wrong last time around at this stage in the year when they went out to Athens. Surely not again.
I can't see it, no. I think the general opinion last year is the squad did too much travelling around, and come, obviously, the important game against Athens, we just weren't prepared. But by all accounts, last weekend they played ever so well. And if they can do that again, you've got to fancy them for a good win tonight.
Do you fancy them for a good win tonight, Mo?
Yeah, you've got to. I think they'll go quite far in the tournament. If they get through this, obviously they're up against another three good teams, so it should be quite interesting.
Now, I know you know Gascoigne well. It is a very big night for him, isn't it?
I think he'll sail through it. He's a quality player, and to be honest with you, I think that's what Scottish football needs.
You'd go along with that, I think, Gary?
Yes, certainly. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that he doesn't get too wound up. As we've seen in the past, he gets very emotionally involved in the games. Hopefully he can compose himself today and stamp his authority on the game, because there's no doubt about it, he's a world-class player.
Is there a doubt at all about his temperament?
Well, I think there must be. I think it's not his first game at Ibrox in front of a big crowd, but he'll be treating this with, you know, it's very important for the club, it's very important for him, it's very important for the fans that they do well tonight, and hopefully his football will do the talking for him.
You speak to the players, Maurice. What are they saying?
I actually spoke to Coyce a couple of days ago. He's looking really forward to the game. I don't know if he's playing at the present moment, but to be honest with you, who they're playing at tonight, I think that they'll sail through. It should be an interesting game.
You keep saying that, but they do have three Bulgarians and a Yugoslav who's now a naturalised Cypriot. I mean, you know, they can play, I would have thought, Mo.
Well, with the money they've spent this season, if they don't get through, well, who knows what David Murray will do.
How good are Rangers compared to the time that you guys played for them? Well,
to be honest, it's astonishing what they've done. The buys they've made, it's quite frightening really, looking from down south upwards. But as you say, I think the one thing they've got to be aware of is that there's no bad teams in the European Cup. I mean, they're the champions of Cyprus. They've got to go about it the right way, and surely...
You're confident they will?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really need to be said that they've got to keep a clean sheet.
Okay.
But I'm sure they'll score 3 or 4 goals.
All right, so kick-off at Ibrox coming up after this break, when we'll also get the pre-match view of the man who started the Rangers revolution nearly a decade ago. Graeme Souness breaks his silence in a couple of minutes.
Link Skin System Aftershave puts back the moisture. Life takes out.
There's never a good time to pay a service bill. But how does 1999 sound? The Hyundai Elantra with free servicing and unlimited mileage warranty for 3 years.
With BT's local daytime calls at only 4p a minute,
Are you sorted for Gatto?
you've time to talk up a little extra business.
A glass of the unusual, sir?
What is it?
The metamorphosis of lager, sir. Enigma draft lager from Guinness. It began as a spark of inspiration in the mind of a genius.
Very smooth.
I have to go now. My giraffe is on fire.
It's now 31! 40 top chart hits, now 31. That's what I call music.
Pantene Hair Health Update.
Sun, Sea and Surf, all the right ingredients for a great summer, all the wrong ingredients for healthy looking hair.
This time of year, I'm often asked how to protect hair from damage. Well, I recommend Pantene Pro B+.
Its pro-vitamin B5 nourishes the roots and penetrates the whole of your hair to the very tip,
leaving it so healthy looking it shines all summer long.
Pantene Pro B+, daily treatment for healthy looking hair.
Yes, the European match live here tonight. In a moment, we'll join Jerry McNee and Jimmy Nicol at Ibrox. But first, I've been to Istanbul to get the thoughts of former Rangers boss, now manager of Galatasaray, Graeme Souness. What does he think of tonight's opposition? Anorthosis.
Who?
Cypriot team.
Who? Yeah, I think they've had a result there because they could have pulled a harder one, but they'll beat them and they'll get them there and they'll generate a lot of cash and they'll have full houses and they'll get lots of money from television, which will enable them to go and become even stronger at the end of this coming season, because there's so much money generated by that Champions League that if you invest that kind of money wisely, that's why I say for the foreseeable future they're going to dominate Scottish football.
Mo, I think you go with that, don't you?
Yeah, it's important for Glasgow Rangers to go through, but it's more importantly, I think, for Scottish football.
Yeah, as he says, Gary, there is so much money generated in this Champions League, it's almost unthinkable that they won't make it this time.
Well, when they suffered last year through it, and as I say, they do have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, big pressure then on the players to do it.
It is, but I'm sure they'll come up with the goods.
Okay, you're both confident that they're going to see this mob off tonight. All right. Right, well, now to Ibrox to savour the atmosphere with former Rangers and Manchester United star Jimmy Nicol and our commentator tonight, Jerry McNee. This is going to be a big night of football.
Stadium's new capacity of just under 48,000 has been fully tested tonight, and by January will have been further increased to 51,000, which will allow it to host a European Cup final. However, tonight is about what Rangers can achieve on the field. The club's reputation is on the line after a high-spending summer, and the players must make up for the great disappointments of the past two seasons. Failure is unthinkable. Let's have a look at the Rangers lineup. And Walter Smith has decided to bring in Ian Ferguson. There was a lot of speculation about Charlie Miller, but speaking to the Rangers manager before the match, he says he wants the dig of Ferguson. They've really got to get in about this Cypriot team tonight. And Anorthosis now, and as you heard Jim White say earlier, the three Bulgarians will have to be carefully watched: Kiriakov, Todorov and Ignatov. And Gogits of Yugoslavia, now a Cypriot citizen, a man who scored 50 goals in the past couple of seasons, and another player Rangers will have to watch closely. And the referee is Eric Blaro from Belgium, 36 years of age, who's handled Champions League fixtures and also UEFA Cup ties, so he does have a fair measure of experience. 11 years he's been in the top list in Belgium. And there's a man that many have come to see, Paul Gascoigne. And Gascoigne, of course, making his European debut tonight. £4.2 million he cost, and he wants to make a huge impression in this, his competitive debut. But Gogits there, and Ignatov kicking off. And Rangers will want to get possession as quickly as possible and apply pressure, but this team are very quick and dangerous middle to front. There might be some defensive frailties which can be exploited, but they certainly carry a threat up front. And of course they saw what Athens achieved here just a year ago, so Rangers will want to settle down. And here's an early touch for Brian Reid. He takes the return from Robertson. Robertson again. Rangers playing in one of the change strips tonight. That's Hateley going for that one. It's Shuris, very talented player. That's Kiriakov, who will dictate a lot from midfield. It's well cut out though by Gascoigne, played by Goff, across to Stephen Wright making his European debut for Rangers. Of course, he has European experience from his Aberdeen days. It's aimed at Haitley, nicely laid off. Now it's Ian Ferguson, who's drifted to the right-hand side. Rangers have to settle for the throw-in. So tremendous noise being generated by this crowd of around 47,000. So right with the throw-in to Gascoigne. Just bouncing away from him, but still Rangers have it. Haitley tumbles, and that's an illegal challenge, states the referee. It was Castanis and Stavru, the two markers moving in there, and Haitley tumbled to the ground. So an early chance here for Rangers to do something. They could take a lot of pressure from themselves. Gascoigne is hovering over the ball. Ian Ferguson, who can strike them, is there as well. Referee just sorting out the defensive wall. Nicole has taken up a position now. The referee's happy now. It's Gascoigne! And Panayotou pushing the ball to safety. Well, good effort from Gascoigne, but now it's Goff. And the long one through looking for Robertson as well forward. It's away by Panayi. So Gascoigne sending that one in, and the goalkeeper clawing it away. Sashuri's playing it through. This is the sweeper, Panayi. Bogic lays it off. Gascoigne's in the other, just ahead of Ignatov. Now it's Reid. What a big night for him. Transfer listed over a year ago, signing month-to-month contracts and finding himself now in a tie of this importance. This is a Shodis. Looking for Bogic, who tends to drift wide and pull defenders with him. It's headed away by Goff, not very convincingly. And it's charged down by Ferguson as Shodis tried the effort. Now it's Ferguson. Again, not convincing play by Rangers. And it's a free kick against them. Well, they had a couple of chances there to get the ball clear and failed to do so. And now they have to face the free kick. And they got him darting about on his line. And it's McLaren who emerges with the ball. It was Todorov who took the free kick. And this is Gascoigne. Now it's Laudrup gliding past his marker. Good play by Laudrup. And that draws applause from the home fans. Laid off by Laudrup. This is Stephen Wright trying to get forward, but Anorthosis get it away only as far as McLaren. This is Reid, who's well forward. And he gets it away only as far as Reid again. Gascoigne. He's got a lot to do here. Oh, a brilliant turn by him, and he gets the free kick. Well, alongside me is Jimmy Nicholl. Jimmy, your thoughts so far?
Well, great skill there from Paul Gascoigne, and then it's following up his free kick, which is a great effort as well. I'm just looking at the back there. Teams usually get 3 against 1. Sometimes it's a waste, but you still get to have your wits about you at the back as well.
Are you surprised by the Rangers lineup tonight?
No, not really. Obviously, Walter, they've used their system pre-season. They're comfortable with it. The players are comfortable with it, and he must think they're still getting enough attacking force, even with only 2 up front with opposing problems. But just a wee bit of security as well at the back, though.
So this is Kiriakov playing it through. And the throw out from Gorham to bring Stephen Wright into the match. This is McCall. Gascoigne. Back to McLaren. Well, McLaren, another player making his European debut in a Rangers jersey, but had some experience at this level at Hearts, but that's given away to Laudrup. It's Hitley! Well, slack play defensively, allowed Laudrup to pounce, and Hitley certainly wasn't far away.
I'm just going to say earlier on, the big number 4 is Mark Hitley. He's a big fella, but he looks very clumsy in his feet, not very mobile. And I think Mark, although he's a big fella, he's got good pace as well. And he'll lose on many occasions tonight, as he did there.
Panayotou decides to play it short. This is Funas. Not a good ball cut out by Goff, but promptly given away to Kiriakov. This is Funas. Stavro leaving it now to Kiriakov, who's dictating play. Todorov. A slack one by him though. And it's away by Ferguson. Kiriakov again. Working hard, but that's out of play for the throw. Two Rangers. Well, this man, of course, played for Bulgaria in the World Cup in America last year. Very experienced man. So Gascoigne sporting it. Another haircut. Nice skills by him. Through for Laudrup, who's going through the middle. And the free kick immediately awarded. Well, if Rangers can keep applying this kind of pressure and getting the free kicks, they can certainly do some damage. So just about the same distance out as Gascoigne's effort. Panayotou organises the wall. And again, Gascoigne is hovering. Ian Ferguson is there. And David Robertson just behind him. Again, McCall takes up station just at the end of the wall. Laudrup's there now as well. He tries his luck this time, but no problem at all for Panayotou.
Not a bad effort, I mean, really. As the night goes on, they get more free kicks, and certainly the quality of free kicks on through, but the big Hitley and Laudrup were too quick for them defenders in the back line.
Well, certainly Rangers had this team watched on half a dozen occasions pre-season in Germany. They tried to tell Rangers they wouldn't have any pre-season matches, but there's another free kick, and the referee has had enough. He's going to take some action here, and Rangers applying a lot of pressure, and that was Panayi pulling a jersey. The referee decides to take some action, and there's definitely a question mark over the temperament of this team. So can Rangers get the opening here? Brian Reid has moved well forward into the area. Richard Goff's up there as well to add his height. That's cleared only as far as right, but Rangers really do have to do a bit more with their set pieces. Stephen Wright, who cost 1.5 million from Aberdeen. Just 23 years of age, yet he spent 8 years at Pittodrie.
I hope this isn't going to be a frustrating night for Rangers with all their attacks in the last third. They're just going to get broken down with free kicks all the time. If it does work out like that, they're going to have to improve in the free kicks at the minute.
And Corbett, Bear at the back here. It's Gogits going through. And Rangers and the supporters breathe a sigh of relief, and they'll have to be extremely careful with this man. So just a warning to the home side to be in their toes. That's laid off by Gascoigne. This is Reid. Well, trying to switch the play, but Stephen Wright had moved well forward, and McLaren was caught in two minds. So Rangers still trying to settle. They've forced 3 free kicks just outside the box so far, but defensively showing one or two nerves will have to settle.
It's amazing when you get three centre-halves playing, there's only one, and they still end up 1 against 1. It's a case of whenever your forwards and midfield lads are on the ball, you've got to have your wits about you. The lads have all they got to do is concentrate the back, because that's how quickly it happens.
Reid goes in hard. Still in office has come forward, and the referee allows that to go ahead. Well, Rangers living just a little bit dangerously at the moment. And Gogits, we were warned about him before the game. 50 goals in 2 seasons, and already he's caused Rangers some discomfort. This is Robertson now looking for Haitley. Robertson again. This is Punas. Gascoigne makes the challenge. Goff's up there, and it's a free kick against the Rangers captain. He certainly laid his arm around the neck of Gogits. So Rangers regrouping, and the free kick to Anorthosis. Well, we've shown already that we will carry some threat, and Rangers certainly don't want to lose any goals here tonight. Make the trip so much more difficult in a couple of weeks' time in a very small and tight stadium. This is a Shoris. Now it's Stuart McCall. Crowd wanted him to get that forward more quickly. This is Stephen Wright, who's got a bit of work to do. Showing great pace though. Still it's Wright. And a good challenge going in there. Again, it's the sweeper, George Panayi. Although he's been yellow carded, he'll have to be extremely careful. This is Ferguson looking for the head of Haitley. No, Haitley couldn't get anything on that one. White's head up. Kickoff clears. Off again under pressure from Gascoigne. We'll see some sparks fly between these two before the night's out. This is Punas. It's Todorov. It's McCall who steps in, plays it to Gascoigne. Laudrup. Robertson goes in a great run down the left-hand side, using his tremendous pace. Well picked out by Laudrup. And again, the sweeper does his job, comes across, slides in. Play that by Laudrup. Spotted Robertson right away. This is Laudrup again. And Laudrup again with a free roll, showing marvellous skills. It's completely missed by Ferguson though. Rangers have got to capitalise, have also got to guard against the break. And across comes Reid and just gets the foot in time. And again, Anorthosis is breaking, and Rangers players looking around at one another. They'll have to keep things calm, and they'll have to cash in, and good runs like that by Laudrup. So still no scoring here at Ibrox Stadium. Andy Gorham takes charge of that situation. This is Robertson. Haitley. It's Rangers ball. So 15 minutes gone. Rangers have forced a few free kicks, but nothing to show for it so far. And a couple of uneasy moments in defence. Walter Smith has been warning all week that there's a job of work to be done here tonight. If no one believed it, they know it now. And Rangers will have to step up a gear. And again, the passing is slack. It's given away to Kiriakov. This is Ignatov, Todorov, Gogic. Again, they're moving forward with confidence. Just shades of the match against AEK Athens at times. Rangers dithering defence, and a team coming at them that showing some decent close control. Kiriakov trying to get forward, but that one just runs away and behind for the goal kick.
Well, at this minute in time, you're just looking at it's all very patient build-up stuff, and Rangers trying to get on the ball a lot, but it's only whenever Stephen Wright or David Robson threatening down the wings that the place comes alive, you know. It's a thin line between having patience and trying to wear them down, but also at the same time being a wee bit more direct, you know. And a bit of a game at the back, they're going to have to watch themselves. These lads don't look much at all. I like we carry Kiriakov in the middle part. We sure McCall look like very busy, and he's instrumental in a lot of things to do.
That's McLaren playing it to Reid. Now it's Robertson. So Anorthosis will take a lot of heart from the opening they've made. Of that there's no doubt. It's Laudrup now, who's popped up on the right-hand side. And he's got the throw-in. As Jimmy said earlier, Mark Catley looks to have the beating of the central markers in the air. And if they can swing in some quality crosses to him, it might just make all the difference. So Kiriakov now back deep in his own half inside the penalty area, getting away the initial header. After what's happened to Rangers in the last few years in these opening rounds, there is bound to be a nervousness, and a goal could make all the difference. But again, there's no real threat there as Gascoigne went in for that one. It was Stephen Wright who whipped in the ball, but Hateley and Gascoigne going for that one, and a bit of a misunderstanding, and over the top it goes.
The Cypriots were happy. The atmosphere before the game was excellent, so the Cypriots were happy that it's going to be a bit quiet for them. And the only way you can get the crowd behind you, and they say the crowd's worth the whole start, the only way you can do it is by plenty of goal-mouth action. And the Cypriots are holding their own there rightly at the minute.
A header there from McLaren. It's knocked back by Reid. I think it's worth pointing out that Anorthosis were runners-up in the league 3 times in 4 years before winning it last season, so the success is well based, and of course they've brought in the 3 Bulgarian players, so it's an interesting evening ahead, no doubt about that. This is Ferguson. Robertson swings it in, looking for Hateley. Again Ferguson trying to pick out right, it breaks to McCall. Hateley, McCall still well forward. Calls for Stephen Wright. It did fall upwardly for him, and it goes behind for the goal kick. So in fairness to Stephen Wright, it wasn't the easiest of opportunities.
No, the pitch is great here at Ibrox, but it is definitely firm underneath, and you do get the ball bouncing very high, and that's a skill you've got to just get the knee over the ball and keep it down the best you can. But I've seen it happen with Stephen a couple of times this one.